bring in tonight's panel. She's an attorney and senior advisor at Rising PAC. Wilkes is here, along with Reason.com associate editor and future author. His book's coming out in June. Robbie Suave, and co-author, another authoress. America in the Age of Trump is her book. She's a Fox News contributor. Jessica Tarlov. Welcome, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Elizabeth Warren, she, it's like I'm trying to figure out who you like, because I look at these people, I look at the Beto's, and I look at the Liz Warrens, and she's got so many missteps, and then she talks about being on the ragged edge of poverty as a kid, and I don't know if I believe her.
Well, I read her book, and it seems like that is accurate. I don't think that any of that is made up. But
who knows?
I think Amy, I don't know. I guess who knows, but it's in print, and I assume it was fact-checked. I think Amy Klobuchar getting in is a really good thing. That's going to start the ball rolling of the more moderates jumping in here. Sherrod Brown looks like he's pretty close to getting in as well. According to people close to Amy Klobuchar, she was nervous about getting into this field because she thought she was too much to the middle, too moderate for it.
Do you think, okay, so I guess this is the question. Just be yourself, Amy. Pick a lane and stay in it. And I'm so sick of people making this clumsy progressive pivot when that's not where their heart and mind is.
No, I think that shifting, 10% to the left is fine. But if you're going a whole 40 or 50, people know about that. But I'm not sure how you make it out of the primary without doing some shift to the left. And we know that you have to tack back to the middle to make it in the general once we get there.
Yeah, but you don't want the triangulation to be isosceles.
Absolutely not, whatever that means.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Elizabeth Warren. Too many apologies. She keeps apologizing for stuff. She apologized about her Texas bar application where she put Native American. She apologized about her DNA test. She had to apologize once again to the Cherokee Nation. It's too much. No one's even focusing on her dumb progressive ideas, which will bankrupt the country.
Right. Her attempts to deal with this have been really bad. I think even people on the left think she's not done a great job with that. But she's a very ideological candidate, though, with strong and deeply held views that are sincere on economic issues that I find frightening, that I'm very much against. And so I don't want to be too distracted by this constant attention to the right-wing media. It's a funny talking point how she screwed this up, but the substance of her ideas are very important and worth kind of rebutting more seriously. And I'm not sure, so there's moderate in many senses, right? Because there's cultural issues and there's economic issues. I think someone like Kamala Harris wants to portray herself as some kind of progressive, even though she has a very not so progressive record on criminal justice issues.
And we're going to talk about her a little bit later.
I'm just saying, and I'm not even, Klobuchar is maybe temperamentally moderate, but having looked at her policies, I'm not sure how moderate she actually is.
Hearing that she was mean to people made me like her. I was like, it made me feel like she's a baller. Like she's not someone who's going to apologize for her ruggedness.
She seems cool, but
her edge.
It's like stop.
Cool. Stop, man. Be a curmudgeon. Who cares if you're a man or a woman? Yeah, it's like, just go for it. And stop being like, oh, I'm so soft around the edges and Pepto Big, Pismol, pink everything. It's like, just stop it and just be who you are. Back to the authenticity, which is fine. You know what's really interesting? Alex, last night on the Grammys, Michelle Obama came out and to the kind of adoration that no candidate has come close to. Kamala Harris had a very successful rollout, but Michelle Obama did something to the crowd and the wealthy ultra-left that other candidates have not been able to do. What are the chances of Michelle jumping into the race as a late-game ad?
I think that would be a really exciting prospect for a lot of Democrats. There's a lot of Obama nostalgia these days. A lot of people sort of want to go back to that time. I'm not sure if she's going to get in, though, with such a crowded field of people.
That's why she's going to come in late. She's not going to make the mistake of getting into the middle of the pack when, the Sherrod Browns and Mayor Buttigieg and all those people are getting in. She's going to wait until everyone's stinky and it looks like they suck, and then she's going to take the high road and be the savioress.
Well, it would definitely be devastating, not only on an ideological level for a lot of these Democrats who are trying to tack themselves all the way to the left, but also from what Kirsten Gillibrand has described as an intersectional level, as, wanting to put forth these diversity of traits, or a diverse set of traits in order to, present yourself as a compelling candidate for president.
But here's why she's compelling, and I'll tell you why. Because my mom loves Michelle Obama. She hated Hillary Clinton. She's a lifelong Democrat. But there's something about Michelle Obama that resonates with her. You talk about intersectionalism. Michelle Obama has a very uplifting book, Becoming. And it's about taking those traits and turning yourself into a superhero, which, other people, when they rely on their intersectionality, they come off as victims. And she does something different there. If she's a big government commie, I won't support her, but right now I think she's the idea of her candidacy and the timing of that is interesting.
She also did something in her book, which is still #1 on the bestseller list for a reason, and Republicans and Democrats alike love this book. And a significant portion of it is not about Barack Obama. It's about her life before that. And one of the criticisms, which I do not share, of Hillary Clinton, and I do not think that she got where she is because of her husband, was that too much about her was identified in the context of her marriage or her relationship. And Michelle Obama has established a coolness and, you know,
an identity
and like a fiefdom of unity and respect and all of that around her as a person separate from Obama. They are certainly a wonderful first family, and I think that I would hope a majority were proud to have them representing us, but she's very much her own creature, and seeing her out there on her own like that with those other women who are breaking down barriers
it's a fantastic story, and I hope she doesn't make the mistake of running for president.
Well, she's not going to. I don't think she really doesn't
running
want
for
to.
President
She didn't even
is
want
awful,
him to.
And being president is even worse, and she knows that, but she, talk about branding, like the other Democrats could take a page from her branding book. Alex, Robbie, and Jessica. Robbie, of course, I will start with you. You know, of course, she's trying to say that, you know, joy to those who smoke the reefer and marijuana for all. But when she was California AG, she made sure a lot of people went to prison for nonviolent marijuana.
Exactly. As you said, this is a recent new position for her. If she has changed her mind, I'm glad she has, but not so long ago she was on the non-progressive, non-libertarian side of this. Her policy for putting, that she supported for putting parents of kids who don't show up to school in jail would have exacerbated all sorts of economic problems and for kids who don't show up to school. This is not the answer. I don't think anyone believes it's the answer to education problems to like put more people in jail to try to solve this issue.
Of course.
So she has a record that should really be scrutinized, even among people in the, you know, this is an area where I might agree with someone on the left that she would not be the ideal candidate for criminal justice reform reasons. Some civil liberties issues with a lot of her positioning on sex trafficking that she's been all very outraged about. Very concerning things.
No, but that's one of those interesting areas within feminism where there is a great deal of disagreement, and it's like who has agency over their own body. And the thing about Kamala that I find interesting is, you know, there's so many news organizations that are willing to give her a pass on her past record, but at some point when she really emerges as the crystallized front runner, the others are going to have to go after her. When does that happen?
Hopefully not for a few months. I mean, you have seen an amazing level of camaraderie amongst this group. Cory Booker joking about, Sherrod Brown joking that Cory Booker, you know, got a hoarse voice so that he could imitate him better, and they're all playing very nice on Twitter, but it is it's 2 weeks in to this grind, so we'll have to get another 10 candidates in before it gets dirty. I think the issue with Kamala Harris comes down to the fact that there is just a branch of the left wing, as my friend put it to me yesterday at our friend's first birthday party. I just don't like prosecutors. He was a Bernie guy. He's an Elizabeth Warren person now. I just don't like prosecutors. But there are a number of really smart pieces out right now about how Democrats are focused on electability. And that is what we are going to be for first and foremost, that we will not have what happened in 2016 again, where people refuse to coalesce around the candidate, and we end up 77,000 votes shy of winning the presidency. So we got time before it gets nasty, but it's going to be a talking point, but then I think we're going to all get there.
Well, they're going to have to do something because only one person can be the nominee and take on the president. So, you know, are they doing the smartest thing right now in protecting each other, or is it just a bunch of phony baloney nonsense?
Well, I think the problem is that they all ran so far to the left, and they all engaged in this giant apology tour afterwards to sort of apologize for various missteps, whether it's Elizabeth Warren and the Cherokee Nation, or it's Kamala Harris and her record as Attorney General of California and District Attorney of San Francisco. You know, there's been this string of apologies that have followed a record that's out there that now is indistinguishable among sort of the top contenders that are out there, whether it's Elizabeth Warren or Kamala Harris or Kirsten Gillibrand. They all look pretty homogenous from the outside. So I think that it's only a matter of time before they start pointing out these differences, because
they better.
You know,
if I were Kamala Harris, I would be like, Oh no, Kirsten, you were horrible on guns. I mean, I think she was great on guns when she was pro Second Amendment. But the point is, they're having to retriangulate, which is more of a zigzag.
They are, and they're different on the issue. Someone like Cory Booker, for instance, has a record on education reform, on school choice. He has a long record of supporting kind of those policies in a way that actually Barack Obama and many Democrats did over the previous decade, that has now very much fallen out of favor with the left is really against that, and the rest of them are going to be against that, and he's even had to run from it. But like, that's a major difference that's unique to him versus the others, and
private
this is going to have to come up.
is a big one. Kamala Harris is the only one who has said that she wants to abolish private insurance, and that's what, if you look at the new Kaiser family polling, it shows that people support Medicare for all, but with a private insurance option remaining. So that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a problem, and that's something. Yeah, but that's something that they haven't. And I'm going to talk to Brian Brenberg about the Green New Deal in just a little bit.
They all embrace that, though.
They all embrace that. But with the Green New Deal and with Medicare for all, you have to get rid of entire industries.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of the private insurance industry, which employs at least 500,000 people. Not to mention getting rid of airlines. And what does that do to the stock market?
Well, Mazie Hirono can't make it then. So
yeah, Mazie Hirono was the only one smart enough to be like, that's really tough to get to Hawaii on a train. All right,
Nancy Pelosi said the green dream. She threw her shade at it.
That was really funny.
It was very funny.
That was like
look at that. Kenny said something nice about Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi, where's my Chardonnay? Thank you guys so much. You're glorious. Jessica Rabbia now.